Hello, how we doing tonight? I got halfway tearing this box apart, and I said to myself, you know what I should be doing? I should actually be taking video of this. So I apologize that this is a little impromptu and a little bit after the fact in a way, but hey, guess what? This is an Old Air Products air conditioner, I guess installation, but I'm not really going to do the install in this video. But this is the unboxing after the unboxing. Unfortunately, I got a little carried away and I just didn't even think about doing this. But you know what? The 71 to 73 Mustang gets left out a lot into, a lot of these videos and parts and aftermarkets and all that kind of stuff, because they're just on their own, I mean, anything from 64 and a half, 65, whatever you want to call it, all the way up to 70. I mean, you can find anything, everything, videos all over the place, etc., etc. So what I'm trying to do is document my 1971 build for the most part, as much as I can, and put it out there so that all of you 71, 73 fans, 72, you're not feeling left out, and you kind of get an idea of what you could possibly do with your car. But anyway, here's my car right here. So it's a 71 Fastback. It's my high school car. Yeah, and if you watch my videos, you'll see everything all about it. But anyway, let's get to the Old Air Products air conditioning. So this is the box that I received today. This big one right here. Okay, and inside that box basically was a lot of this stuff right here, but also this box over here. Okay, now this one is now empty. This is, again, how I got a little carried away. Kind of cool that they have Old Air Products sitting right on it. Now this box right here, by the way, right there, is empty. Has nothing in it. So it's a filler box. It's for shipping, I guess, to where you don't, damage stuff. And I did, by the way, have a little bit of a damage on the end of the box. So I was a little concerned, but luckily, the hose was right there, and I think it took all the hit and nothing got damaged. So but anyway, you can see that the air conditioning condensers right here again has Old Air Product sticker right on it. It says void if warranty if removed, etc. So it looks like they did a really good job of actually, I mean, I guess this is all proprietary stuff to Old Air, but here's all, like the electronic controls here. What is it you call that, the receiver dryer right here, there's one of the vents right there. I mean, a lot of this stuff in here is, again, for the whole kit. So I believe, let's see if there's a part number on this, I don't remember, but anyway, this is yeah, I don't see a part number, but I do remember it's like 1171M or something like that, which means basically that this unit right here is meant for the 1971 to 73 Mustang heater only car, meaning if you had a car that had only a heater, not the factory AC, this would be the kit for you. I guess the 72 is the version, the 72M, whatever that part number is the one for the car that would have had air conditioning on the car from the factory. So you know what, I'll probably have that part number available in my description, probably. Okay, so anyway, also here is the some more stuff. Here's the instructions. I kind of set this stuff aside because what I'm planning on doing here is, obviously this car is not ready to go, but I do want to get this put in the unit, at least mounted and whatnot, because that way I can actually start assembling and my dash and start running the wiring harness, because I'm going to do a aftermarket wiring harness, and that way when I get that in, it's pretty much ready for me to just start doing other things, and I don't have to back up and tear things apart and put it back in, etc., etc. Okay, so that's the reason why I'm kind of keeping this stuff over here on top of the car. Yes, I'm keeping it on top of the car. I haven't done the body work yet, so I really don't care, and it's not going to dent it, so just, calm down. Anyway, yeah, you can see I got my shifter up here too. I'm going to be working on that this weekend as well. So this seems to be the mounting plate right here. This is the fresh air block off plates, which I guess, at least for the heater only car. So I went ahead and I kind of had rust inside my fresh air intake, and I had to, you know, weld it up, and I spent all that time, you know, really reaching down in there and spraying the, you know, the undercoating and all that stuff in there. And come to find out, well, they're gonna force me to block it off anyway, so I'm not even really gonna use it. Okay, so I guess I did all that for nothing, maybe, I don't know. However, a little tip here, maybe, because I'm going to be putting in an aftermarket, modern day type fuse panel and wiring harness, and this is going to be fuel injected and I believe now supercharged and all this other stuff. I'm actually thinking of using this fresh air intake as a place for the wiring loom. I don't know, but it's in my mind. So I'm thinking that rather than having it underneath the dash and having it to where it is, you know, getting pinched by the brake pedal and, you know, all those other things, you know, or the potential of that happening, and it being in the way and filling up underneath my dash, why not just run it inside here? Maybe. So I'm going to use those block off plates inside the car where it will block off the fresh air intakes on the bottom. But then right here, I am currently, again, planning in my head here, and I believe I'll do this regardless of whether or not I decide to run wiring loom in here or not. But I'm thinking I'm going to actually put block off plates here. And I don't know if I'm going to go with like an ABS plastic or something, you know, because this will be, my hood will be shut. I just don't want it to, you know, the plastic start melting or getting soft or anything like that. Yeah, I could use steel, I guess, because I have plenty of that. But I don't know, I'm trying to go lightweight right now. I don't know why, but here just all of a sudden lately I'm just on a big old kick to go lightweight with everything. Like if I can, you know, like I got this idea with my headlight buckets. Those things are metal and those things are actually heavy. And I've got this idea that I'm going to be building those out of aluminum when I get to that point. I'm not sure if that's what's going to happen, but I am really contemplating that. There's just a lot of things on here that I believe I could make out of aluminum or even some plastic, maybe, carbon fiber, you know, things like that, that I think would really, you know, just try to keep the weight down, although I don't know why I'm doing that, but yeah, you know, when you got time, or, well, no, I don't have time, let me take that back. When you got ideas, you want to use them, right? And everybody knows that if you want your car to be more fuel efficient, more, you know, quicker, more nimble, etc., you typically want to go lightweight. So that is my whole purpose behind that. Okay, so again, don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I am thinking about definitely, well, I will cover these up one way or another, whether I'm using this for a wiring trough or not. Or a battery tray, I guess you could call it. Cable tray. There we go. So, back to the air conditioner. Sorry, I keep kind of, you know, getting off subject here, but so this is the air conditioning unit. You can see, you know, I mean, I've got a pretty good size hand, you know, about, oh, I don't know, 6 foot by, or 6 inch by 6 inch, I mean to say, at least, you know, my hand is pretty good size. And you can see here that it's pretty compact. I'm really impressed. I haven't taken it out of the bag yet, of course. I'm just sitting up here again so that tomorrow when I get ready to start mounting it to my dash, it's already out and it's already ready. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is, you know, this is what you're going to kind of get with the Old Air Products air conditioning kit that is a direct fit for the, supposedly direct fit, for the 1971 to 73 Mustang, and I'm hoping I have everything in here because I actually haven't found my electronic gauge yet as far my dial, you know. Maybe it's in that empty box that I think is empty, but isn't empty. I don't know. I haven't really looked. I'll find it all probably tomorrow for sure. I'll double check everything, but looks like a hardware bag here. They'll block off that, all that kind of stuff. So I mean, you know, you're getting a box, I would say probably 2 foot by 2 foot, maybe even actually 3 foot by 3 foot, almost cubed in a way. When you do this for the 1971 to 73 Mustang, for the Old Air products. Now, let's talk about briefly, as much, yeah, you're looking at me like, yeah, you don't talk about things briefly, you just ramble. But anyway, let's talk about my options, okay? Old Air products, classic Air, vintage Air, and what was that other one? It was called Restomod Air. There we go. So I initially started looking around, and I actually found, I think, Old Air products first. I've heard of vintage Air and I've heard of classic Air, but then when I went and did the website search, I actually, you know, through all the choices that I had, I actually just went to Old Air first. I just thought, what the heck, let's take a look. So I did that, and got the instructions, called the customer service, asked a few questions. They were pretty decent, pretty decent. Then I went ahead and I moved right into Restomod Air. Restomod Air is a pretty fancy, I mean, like, dude, they, yeah, they've got the system, no doubt, it looks like. They claim they're going to turn your car into a meat locker, is what they're claiming. And I had already had this car to this point, basically, where it was, you know, all undercoated. I have the firewall all done as far as painted and undercoat, and as you can see, I got it insulated up against there and all that kind of stuff. I had it all done when I started researching this because, you see, I'm coming back together, and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to be putting my airbox in here. Well, let's go see. And so I go digging it out of my trailer, and I'm like, holy crap, this thing's in bad shape. It's all beat up. It's about ready to fall apart. Should I just glue all this shit together? Should I go get a new one? What should I do? You know, what should I do? So that's how I got into starting to look into this stuff. And again, Restomod Air, I was actually thinking of it very heavily. Like, I really liked the idea of a meat locker in my car. I like the idea of big and bad and awesome, and you know, lots of choices with controls and knobs and vents and all that kind of stuff. If you want customization, if you want the best of the best, then I would say Restomod is probably your choice based upon what I know of right now in 2022, mid 2022. However, when I called them up, which I called them up, I got to talk to one guy a little bit. It wasn't as helpful as I would have liked. Then I did the schedule an appointment thing that they have on their website, and I got the phone call. This guy was a little more attentive. We talked about it, and based upon what my questions were asking him, he was saying basically, I've got to come up with a flat firewall or customize it to fit. And I did not want to cut apart my firewall since it's in perfect shape, and I've already done all the work, so I did not want to actually you know, redo anything. So I decided, okay, this is not for me. Now, little secret, Classic Air is the sister company of Restomod Air. That gentleman told me that. He said, hey, if you want, what you need to do is you need to go and call Classic Air. They'll have exactly a direct fit for you. Now, I went onto their website and I did look, and I did call them up, and wasn't impressed with their customer service at all. Not at all. So I basically said, nope, not gonna go with you. Oh, one real quick thing. Restomod Air, very expensive. Okay, very expensive. You're talking over $1,000 to $1,500 more minimum. Okay, not that I'm scared of that. I'm just saying, if you're thinking budget, Restomod's not for you. No, it's not for you. Restomod is for you if you have indisposable income, or you're willing to save up for it, or you're willing to pay the extra price. You're going to be getting a great system, I believe, and lots of options, but you are going to pay for it. So just want you to know that, because I was asking, I believe it was the Restomod Air guy. I was like, hey, so, and the Classic Air. That's why I wasn't impressed with them. I remember that now. Well, you guys are a sister company of Restomod Air. I mean, why? I mean, are you using the same stuff, or I mean, what's the deal? And they just really were vague with their answers. And yeah, I don't know, just wasn't impressed. I didn't even call Vintage Air. I don't know why I didn't really. But I went to their website. I don't know. something about the design or whatever that I wasn't really impressed with. I didn't really like. I don't know. Something about vintage air just didn't sit right with me. So as far as like looking at the website, and nothing was impressive about it. It was just like, yeah, here's another option, you know, and by the way, it's, you know, we're called vintage air. Okay. I just didn't see anything about that I was impressed with. So so why did I come back to old air? Well, you know, I did notice that the old air and the classic air, I believe, have the same, when you go to purchase the 71 to 73 Mustang kit, has the same electronic control type, you know, bezel or whatever. I mean, at least that's what I see in the pictures. Okay, so and I think that's actually it. I think that was the thing that kind of led me to go, you know what, I like the looks of that direct replacement bezel compared to what vintage air had. So I think that was it. But anyway, so I did come back over to, excuse me, old air. And I called him again, and I got to talk on the phone with another guy, and this one was quite a bit more helpful. I pretty much asked him the same questions I asked the first guy, but I think he was just more willing to spend time with me, and really that is important to me. I'm in sales, so I mean, I know I give people that respect. I give people the time, you know. A lot of times, unfortunately, they don't use me as much as I think they should. And then they end up choosing, you know, the competitor. And, well, I've got proof, and they've told me, many of them, they regret it. So, hey, not my deal. Whatever, you know, I'm plenty busy. Don't need any more, really. I mean, I'll take more, but, hey, it's up to you whether you want to utilize me or not. But I was utilizing old air, and they were attentive, and they were doing well. Now, one of the things that got me logically, because everybody buys emotionally, is that old air said something to the effect that, you know, well, you'll like our unit because it uses a, how they say that, pull-through system. So basically, the electric motor fan unit is pulling the air through the condenser and heater and then pushing it out the vent system, meaning it will be, according to them, a stronger feel, okay, because it's actually pushing the air from after the condenser, or excuse me, evaporator, heater coil, core, into the vent system and out into your face, which makes sense. Is it bullshit? I don't know. But you know, really, if you have air going and it hits the heater core and hits the evaporator, you know, and it happens to be, you know, sweaty or, you know, maybe a little junk on it or whatever, I can see that. But of course, you know, at the same time, you cannot push what you can't suck either. So I don't really know if that philosophy works or not. But that's what they're touting, and it seemed interesting to me. And the other thing that I really liked about the old air system was the fact that they did have like one big unit. I believe you might even be able to see it, as a matter of fact. Yeah, there we go. See right there? All your air condenser, evaporator and heater core is all through one big hole. So I like that, actually. So that's another big reason why I went with old air. So I need to cut this short. It's kind of getting a long video here, and I'm rambling a lot, but this is the beginning anyway. Be sure to check back, like and subscribe, because I'm probably, I know I am, going to be talking about it as we go along here. And all you 71 to 73 fans out there and guys out there won't feel left out that you don't get to see this kind of stuff. Because I'm going to be doing it here, and I'll be keeping track as much as I can, and hopefully don't get ahead of myself. But even still, if I got to go back and kind of, you know, just do a little video after the fact, I guess, at least then you'll get to know what I went through and how it's done and how I did it. And hopefully that can help you out, okay? Again, like and subscribe. We'll talk to you later. Thank you, guys. We'll see you later.